South American Football Confederation, CONMEBOL, has placed an official proposal for the 2030 FIFA World Cup to be expanded to 64 teams. At CONMEBOL's 80th Ordinary Congress in March, their president claimed because it's the anniversary of the competition, more countries should be invited to join the party. This would be a one-off potentially. However, with FIFA's desire to maximize their revenue and a future World Cup host showing some interest in also hosting a 64-team tournament, CONMEBOL may just have opened Pandora's box. How a 64-team tournament would work? Well, the proposals look like they are suggesting 16 groups of 4 teams with a straight knockout round of 32 there afterwards. Alternatively, you could propose the more visually palatable 8 groups of 8, or you could do a Champions League style format with 8 games. Overall, that would result in far less matches played than your 16 groups of 4. Immediately, this plan faces problems, as UEFA's president has already shot it down as a bad idea, and the AFC, the Asian Football Confederation, also look to oppose this proposal, calling it chaos. That's despite the Saudis looking favourably towards the proposal. Also, the North American Confederation, CONCACAF, is also opposed. However, where this does get interesting is the Saudis' comments on World Cup expansion, as the Saudi sports minister has claimed they would be more than open to the idea of a 64-team World Cup in 2034. This was hinted at the recent Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in Jeddah. You'd have to imagine that what Saudi Arabia wants, it gets from the Asian Football Confederation and potentially FIFA. However, one governing body that has remained quiet on this front, and that's the African governing body, CAF. CAF, who previously called for the World Cup cycle to be shortened from every 4 years to every 2 years. If an expanded World Cup brought more African teams to the party, they would likely go along with it. So if the anniversary World Cup in 2030 sticks with the 48-team format, this 64-team beast of a World Cup could start in 2034 if FIFA want to take that kind of expansion. However, there must be a point where further expansion is not possible without dilution of the product. Only one member of the South American Confederation, CONMEBOL, has never qualified for the World Cup, and that's Venezuela. My question is, what would they actually bring to the World Cup? If we go from 64 teams, then should we expand further to 128 teams so that our dream of Fiji winning the World Cup could become a reality? So, will it happen? God, I hope not. However, this is capitalism and greed is everything in this game. And FIFA have always shown their greed, same as every other footballing body, let's be honest. But when you combine that with the ambition for the Saudi 2034 World Cup, it becomes harder to brush it off as just a fever dream idea for a one-off tournament in 2030.